The stars shimmered coldly in the vast expanse of the universe, their distant lights flickering like ancient candles in the dark. It was on one such unremarkable night that a team of radio astronomers perched on the barren plains of Australia detected a signal unlike anything they had ever encountered. It was a series of mathematical sequences, improbably regular, emanating from a distant star cluster. Humanity, long curious about the cosmos, found itself teetering on the edge of a momentous discovery. Dr. Martin Norris stood in the control room of the observatory, his eyes transfixed on the monitor, displaying the sequence of numbers and symbols that scrolled with a relentless clarity. To the untrained eye, it could have been nothing more than gibberish. But to Dr. Norris, it was a symphony of intelligence. "This changes everything," he murmured, the room abuzz with the muted hum of computers and the palpable tension of groundbreaking revelation. As lead scientist, the responsibility weighed heavily on his shoulders. The world beyond these walls was already buzzing with speculation, the news of the signal having slipped past the confines of secrecy faster than he had anticipated. He dragged a hand through his graying hair, understanding fully that this was just the beginning. The signal could be a beacon, an invitation, perhaps even a warning. Whatever it was, it demanded a response, a calculated leap into the unknown. The decision to send a mission was reached with unprecedented rapidity. Humanity's collective gaze turned skyward, fueled by centuries of curiosity, trepidation, and ambition. The Arcadia, Earth's most advanced exploratory vessel, would break through the threshold of their solar solitude, charting a path to the origin of the celestial signal. Dr. Norris was not alone in this endeavor. Scientists, engineers, and a carefully selected crew gathered at the launch site, each person a thread in the intricate tapestry of this mission. The Arcadia stood poised against the backdrop of twilight, a testament to human ingenuity and the eternal quest for understanding. As the final preparations were underway, Earth itself seemed to hold its breath. News outlets across the globe debated the signal's intent and origin, while philosophers pondered the existential implications of such contact. Was humanity prepared to meet its cosmic neighbors? And if so, on what terms? Dr. Norris, however, had little time for speculation. His days were consumed with briefings and simulations, the full weight of his role pressing upon him. He was determined, cautious, and above all else, committed to the mission's success. On the eve of their departure, Dr. Norris found a rare moment of solitude amid the chaos of the spaceport. He stood before the Arcadia, its sleek hull reflecting the scattered stars above. Of the unknowns that lay ahead, and of the signal, a beacon that had bridged the endless void to reach them. He was joined by his second-in-command, a young engineer named Lieutenant Harrow. Her eyes were bright with a mixture of fear and anticipation, a reflection of the times. "Are we really ready for this, Dr. Norris?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper against the night. "As ready as we'll ever be," he replied, offering a reassuring smile. "We've spent millennia looking up at the stars. It's high time we find out who or what is looking back." With dawn came the final preparations. The crew, clad in their uniforms, stood at attention, each aware of the magnitude of their mission. Dr. Norris addressed them, his voice measured and precise, carrying the weight of both caution and hope. "We embark on a journey that is both unprecedented and daunting. We represent not just ourselves, but all of humanity. Our goal is to seek understanding, to reach beyond the stars, and find our place in the cosmic order." The launch was a spectacle, broadcast to anxious eyes worldwide. As the Arcadia lifted off, a plume of fire and smoke heralding its ascent, Dr. Norris felt a mix of exhilaration and solemnity. This was the dawn of a new era, one where humanity would step from the shadows of its cradle to stand among the stars. As the Earth receded, a shimmering blue marble against the black canvas of space, Dr. Norris reflected on the journey ahead. They would navigate the Celestial Gate, the passageway that led to the Galactic Council Station, where decisions that would shape the future of humankind awaited them. In this vast, mysterious universe, humanity had taken its first steps toward discovery, driven by a signal, a whisper from the stars that promised answers, challenges, and the unknown. The Arcadia sailed into the depths, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of a species poised to claim its place in the infinite expanse of the galaxy. The Arcadia, a marvel of human engineering, drifted towards the celestial gate. It loomed before them, an immense structure suspended in the void, its surface shimmering like an iridescent pearl under the dim light of distant stars. For the crew, seeing it for the first time was akin to witnessing a dream materialize. The gate had been described in brief transmissions. However, no mere words could capture its ethereal majesty. Dr. Martin Norris stood at the command console, his gaze fixed on the swirling patterns that danced across the gate's surface. He felt the palpable silence of the crew around him, a shared awe that transcended individual thoughts and fears. They were about to cross a threshold, both literal and metaphorical, into a domain that had been the stuff of speculation and stories. "Prepare for gate entry," Norris instructed, his voice steady despite the flutter of anticipation in his chest. The crew responded with practiced efficiency, their movements synchronized like the components of a finely tuned machine. Each member understood the gravity of this moment. It was a leap into the unknown, with no promise of return. Lieutenant Harrow, standing by Norris's side, monitored the systems that would guide them through the transition. "All systems are green, Dr. Norris," she confirmed. Her voice, though composed, carried an undertone of excitement. The Arcadia was ready. As the ship edged closer, the gate's surface seemed to ripple, opening like the petals of an exotic bloom. Within, a vortex of light and energy swirled, beckoning them forward. The crew watched in silent unison as cosmic winds molded the gateway into an ethereal tunnel that stretched infinitely into the darkness. With a nod from Norris, the Arcadia surged ahead, crossing the threshold between the known and the unimaginable. Instantly, the stars outside blurred, transforming into cascading ribbons of color that enveloped the vessel. It was as if they sailed upon a river of light, each ripple and eddy whispering secrets from distant galaxies. The passage through the gate was a sensory overload. Time and space seemed to bend and twist, the fabric of reality woven with threads of wonder and mystery. The crew, trained extensively for this moment, found themselves entranced by the spectacle unfolding around them. For a moment, all concerns about their mission, the signal, and even Earth itself faded against the sheer beauty of this celestial voyage. "So this is what lies beyond," Harrow murmured, her voice barely audible over the hum of the ship. Norris merely nodded, too absorbed in the kaleidoscope of sights to respond immediately. In this journey through the cosmic tapestry, the crew found themselves reflecting on their purpose and place in the universe. Each star that flared and faded reminded them of the countless civilizations that might exist, the potential allies and adversaries waiting beyond this passage. It was a humbling thought, a reminder of both their insignificance and their potential. As the Arcadia neared the end of its voyage through the gate, the whirlwind of colors began to diminish, resolving into distinct points of starlight once more. The transition was seamless, and soon they found themselves emerging from the tunnel into a new sector of space, one teeming with the glow of unfamiliar suns and the outlines of distant worlds. Ahead lay the Galactic Council Station, a sprawling structure that dwarfed any human construction. Its architecture an amalgamation of styles and technologies from countless species. The station floated amidst the void, its spires and domes glimmering like a beacon, welcoming them into a realm of interstellar diplomacy and intrigue. "Welcome to the Council Station," Norris announced, a note of resolve in his voice. The awe of the journey lingered, but with it came the weight of the mission they carried, the responsibility to secure humanity's place among this assembly of stars. The Arcadia glided towards the station, the enormity of the task ahead settling over the crew. They were at the precipice of a new chapter, one filled with both promise and peril. As the docking procedures commenced, Dr. Norris allowed himself a moment to breathe, to absorb the reality of their journey. The galaxy awaited, and with it, the myriad paths humanity might forge in this vast interconnected cosmos. As the Arcadia docked with the Galactic Council station, Dr. Martin Norris stood poised at the viewport, taking in the sprawling expanse of the station before that. It was unlike anything he had ever imagined, a confluence of technological marvel and architectural innovation, each part reflecting the distinct characteristics of the myriad species that called this council their own. The immensity of the structure was punctuated by a kaleidoscope of lights, each flicker and glow hinting at the life and activity within. The docking bay hummed with alien life forms of all shapes and sizes, their movements a symphony of purpose. Representatives from worlds across the galaxy moved with purpose and precision, each one a testament to the diversity of life that the universe had to offer. It was within this bustling hub that humanity would make its case for inclusion, a prospect that was both thrilling and daunting. Dr. Norris, surrounded by his team, adjusted the collar of his formal diplomatic uniform, a stark contrast to the utilitarian attire worn on board the Arcadia. His heart raced with anticipation, the weight of expectation heavy on his shoulders. The task ahead was monumental, fraught with the complexities of interstellar diplomacy and the potential for misstep. "Are you ready, Dr. Norris?" Lieutenant Harrow asked, her tone betraying a note of support and camaraderie. She stood at his side, an unwavering pillar amidst the sea of uncertainty. "As ready as we'll ever be," he replied, taking a deep breath. "Let's show them what humanity is capable of." They moved as a unit through the docking bay, their presence a curiosity among the alien delegates who paused to observe these newcomers from the death world called Earth. Whispers and glances followed them, a mixture of intrigue and skepticism coloring the air. It was the first reminder of the perception they would have to overcome. The council chambers loomed ahead, an imposing hall filled with representatives from countless worlds. The architecture was an elegant blend of alien aesthetics, each element contributing to a cohesive whole that spoke of unity despite diversity. At its center stood a dais, from which the council president, a towering figure with translucent skin and eyes like liquid silver, presided over the proceedings. Dr. Norris took his place at the podium, flanked by screens displaying holographic symbols that translated spoken language into visual data comprehensible to all present. The room fell silent, expectant, as he began to speak. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council," he started, his voice calm and measured. "I stand before you as a representative of Earth, a planet of resilience and resolve, seeking our rightful place among the stars." The response was immediate, a low hum of discussion rippling through the assembly. Faces of varying forms turned their attention to Norris, their expressions unreadable, but their interest undeniable. "Our world is one of challenges," Norris continued, drawing from the very essence of what defined humanity. "From the moment we emerged on our planet, we have faced adversity, natural disasters, predatory species, and our own conflicts. Yet despite such obstacles, we have persevered, growing stronger with each trial." He paused, allowing his words to settle, noting the subtle shifts in the room's dynamic. The council was listening, though whether with genuine interest or mere curiosity remained uncertain. "Our capacity for compassion and cooperation is matched by our commitment to peace," he asserted, choosing each word with care. "We understand the fragile balance required to coexist in a galaxy as diverse as this one, and we seek partnership, not dominance." A figure from the council, a species whose physiology resembled the branching limbs of a tree, with eyes embedded along its twisted form, rose to speak. "Your species is known for its volatile nature, Dr. Norris. How do you intend to assure this council that Earth will not be a threat to the stability we have maintained?" Norris met the alien's gaze, unfazed. "Our history is indeed marked by conflict, but it is also marked by progress and learning. We have evolved not only in technology, but in understanding. We have come to realize that our strength lies not in isolation, but in unity. The debate intensified, more voices joining the fray. Questions of governance, cultural integration, and technological parity were raised, each one a reminder of the complexities they faced. Norris fielded each inquiry with poise, drawing upon Earth's achievements and aspirations as testament to their readiness. As the session continued, Norris sensed a shift, an unspoken acknowledgement that humanity might indeed have a place among them. Yet beneath that potential acceptance lay a current of skepticism and caution, a reminder that their path was still fraught with challenge. Humanity brings with it the potential for both great good and great harm, the council president intoned, their voice resonating through the chamber. Your inclusion in this assembly will depend on the assurances you can provide and the trust you can foster. Dr. Norris nodded, understanding the underlying message. Trust would not be given freely. It must be earned through actions, through the demonstration of principles that aligned with the council's own. We are prepared to prove ourselves, Norris asserted, his conviction clear. Let us begin this journey together, to learn from one another and to build a future that reflects the best of what we all aspire to be. As the session drew to a close, Norris stepped back from the podium, the weight of the moment lingering. The path ahead was uncertain, but in that uncertainty lay the potential for growth, for discovery, and for a seat among the stars. The Arcadius crew, having witnessed the exchange, stood with renewed purpose. They were at the cusp of possibility, their voyage a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit. Together, they would navigate the intricate dance of diplomacy, forging a path that would define their place in the cosmic tapestry. As they made their way back to the Arcadia, Dr. Norris felt a sense of resolve. The challenge was immense, but so too was the opportunity. Humanity's journey among the stars had only just begun, and with it, the promise of a new dawn awaited. Almirant Joseph McGregor stood in the command center of Earth's global defense network, every display screen before him blinking with urgent data feeds. The room buzzed with tension. Operators and analysts worked with a synchronized precision honed through years of rigorous training. McGregor, a silhouette of stoicism amidst chaos, was the epitome of calm determination. His eyes flicking from screen to screen, absorbing the unfolding crisis with unwavering focus. The attack had come without warning. Reports streamed in, detailing a sudden assault by a rogue reptilian species known within the Galactic Council for their belligerent nature. Earth's defenses had detected the enemy vessels the moment they breached the solar system's outer perimeter, their intent clear and hostile. It was an act of aggression that defied all diplomatic protocols, a deliberate provocation designed to test Earth's mettle. "Status report," McGregor commanded, his voice cutting through the controlled tumult. "Enemy vessels have entered Earth orbit, sir," an officer replied, her tone crisp with urgency. "They're targeting key infrastructure, communication hubs, power grids, and strategic military installations." McGregor nodded, the lines of his face hardening with resolve. This was the moment they had prepared for. The contingency he had spent years ensuring would never be needed, yet might always come. Humanity's survival had demanded constant vigilance, an understanding that their world, for all its beauty, was a crucible that bred both innovation and resilience. "We've anticipated this," he stated, his gaze shifting to the holographic display that dominated the center of the room. "Activate Project Aegis." There was a brief pause, the weight of his command settling over the room. Project Aegis, Earth's hidden line of defense, had been years in the making. A fusion of the most advanced technology, harnessed from Earth's natural resources and ingenuity. Unbeknownst to all but a select few. "Project Aegis activating," confirmed Lieutenant Callahan, the officer at the helm of operations. Her fingers danced across the console, executing the sequences that would bring the clandestine systems online. Across the globe, hidden installations, disguised as research facilities or buried deep beneath the surface, sprang to life. Shields powered by renewable energy thrummed into existence, enveloping cities and vital locations in protective domes of shimmering light. Weapon systems, designed to bypass conventional barriers employed by other species, aimed skyward, locked onto the intruding vessels. McGregor watched as Earth's defense grid synchronized, a silent testament to human adaptability and foresight. On the screens, the enemy ships faltered, their initial barrage of energy beams dissipating harmlessly against the energy shields. The surprise was palpable, a testament to Earth's refusal to be caught unawares. "Deploy retaliation measures," McGregor ordered, his calm demeanor unyielding. "Defensive only until further notice." The room responded with a flurry of activity, operators relaying commands to defense stations across the globe. Sophisticated missile platforms, disguised as civilian satellites, adjusted their trajectories, ready to engage with precision that belied their apparent ordinariness. "Targeting lock acquired," Callahan confirmed, her eyes fixed on the tactical readouts. "Awaiting your command, sir." "Fire," McGregor stated, the word a catalyst for action. High above, the skies lit up as kinetic projectiles surged forth, unyielding in their course. These weapons, unlike any known to the galaxy, were designed to ignore energy shields entirely, striking with the raw force of their mass and velocity. The first impacts met their marks with deadly accuracy, the ensuing detonations momentarily transforming the night sky into a tapestry of fire and debris. "Enemy vessels sustaining significant damage," reported an analyst, her voice laced with a triumphant edge. "They're reevaluating their assault, sir." McGregor allowed himself a brief nod of acknowledgement. Earth had withstood the initial onslaught, its defenses proving more formidable than any might have anticipated. Yet he knew this was merely the opening act of what could become a prolonged engagement. "Monitor their movements," he instructed. "Let's see if they retreat or regroup. Maintain readiness for further hostilities." As the command center continued to hum with focused activity, McGregor stepped back, giving his officers space to execute their duties. He glanced at the panoramic view of Earth on the main screen, a planet that had long been considered a backwater by the interstellar community, now revealing its true nature. In the depths of his mind, he reflected on what it meant to be a death world species, a notion once considered a curse, now a badge of the indomitable spirit that defined humanity. Earth was a world that had forged its inhabitants in the fires of adversity, creating a civilization capable of both creating and defending with unparalleled conviction. For now they had weathered the storm, proving their resilience to a galaxy that had yet to fully understand them. But McGregor knew the battle was not just one of weapons and tactics. It was about conveying a message, a statement of humanity's readiness to stand among the stars, not as aggressors, but as protectors of their own destiny. As the room continued to buzz with the orchestration of Earth's defenses, McGregor's thoughts turned towards the Galactic Council and the decisions that would soon follow. Earth's display of strength was both a deterrent and an invitation, a call to recognize their place not only as survivors, but as equals in a vast cosmic theater. The assault had been unprovoked, yet it had revealed what lay beneath Earth's surface, a preparedness born of necessity, a defense honed by the harsh truths of their planet. And in that revelation, the galaxy glimpsed the true potential of those who called this death world home. In the heart of Earth's global defense network, Almirant Joseph McGregor stood resolute, surveying the tactical display that mapped every movement of the hostile fleet. The room, abuzz with urgency, mirrored the intensity of the unfolding space skirmish. Operators moved deftly in their seats, eyes darting across screens, fingers tapping commands that unleashed Earth's secret arsenal upon the unsuspecting enemy. The initial onslaught had tested Earth's defenses, but now the tide began to turn. Project Aegis, once a clandestine bulwark of Earth's military strategy, unfurled its capabilities across the globe. The alien ships, initially confident, now found themselves ensnared in a web of human ingenuity and technological prowess that defied galactic expectations. "Almirant, the enemies are recalibrating their positions," her voice a study in composed urgency. Her hands flew across the console, maneuvering Earth's forces with the precision of a chess master. McGregor nodded, his focus unbroken. "Keep them on their heels. Initiate Phase 2 of our counterattack. Let's ensure they remember why Earth is not to be trifled with." Across the vastness of space, Earth's strategic satellites, armed with next-generation kinetic projectiles, adjusted their trajectories with silent efficiency. These satellites, camouflaged among the stars, had lain dormant until this critical moment. Each projectile, designed to bypass typical energy shields with devastating accuracy, now streaked toward the invaders' vessels like shooting stars. As the kinetic salvo reached its targets, alien ships shuddered under the impact, hulls crumpling like paper as the relentless force tore through them. The once coordinated fleet began to falter, their formations breaking as panic and confusion rippled through their ranks. Direct hits on multiple enemy vessels, an analyst confirmed, her voice tinged with satisfaction. Their retreat is imminent. McGregor allowed himself a moment of grim satisfaction. Earth's strength, meticulously concealed and ruthlessly effective, was now laid bare before the galaxy. It was a testament to the foresight that had driven humanity to prepare for the unknown, to ensure their survival in an unforgiving universe. "Prepare to deploy defense drones," McGregor commanded, his mind racing through potential scenarios. "If they attempt a final assault, I want every angle covered." Within seconds, robotic drones stationed around Earth's atmosphere sprang into action. These autonomous units, equipped with advanced AI and equipped with cutting-edge weaponry, flitted across the sky like a swarm of metallic wasps. They intercepted the few remaining enemy fighters, attempting a last desperate attack, their precision unmatched. "Drone deployment successful," Callahan confirmed, her eyes flicking over the data pouring in. "Remaining hostiles are retreating beyond our defensive perimeter." McGregor exhaled, a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. The immediate threat was receding, yet he knew this skirmish was but a chapter in a larger saga. Earth's revelation of its hidden strength would echo through the stars, a clarion call to allies and adversaries alike. "Dispatch a communication to the Council," McGregor ordered, his voice firm yet weary. "They need to understand the gravity of this unprovoked attack and the capabilities we possess." Even as he spoke, McGregor's mind was already sifting through the implications of what had transpired. The reptilian aggressors had underestimated Earth, misjudged the resolve forged in a world that demanded survival at any cost. Yet there was a fine line between demonstrating power and flaunting it. The challenge now would be to navigate the intricacies of interstellar diplomacy, to ensure Earth's display of might did not become a rallying cry for fear and further conflict. "We'll need to reinforce our defenses and assess any potential weaknesses," he continued, turning to his officers who still buzzed with the aftershock of battle. "And prepare to convene with the Council's representatives. We must clarify our stance and intentions without delay." The command center, gradually returning to a semblance of normalcy, reflected the resilience and vigilance that defined Earth's guardians. McGregor knew that the eyes of the galaxy were upon them, scrutinizing their every move, judging whether humanity was a beacon of hope or a harbinger of chaos. As the alien ships limped away, retreating into the vastness from which they had emerged, McGregor turned his gaze once more toward the serene image of Earth on the screen. In its beauty and harshness, the planet encapsulated the duality of its inhabitants, a species defined by both compassion and tenacity. The revelation of Earth's hidden strength was more than a military victory. It was a statement of survival, of a species that had risen from the crucible of their death world to claim their place among the stars. And in that declaration lay both a warning and a promise, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. In the shadow of a devastation that seared the skies and scorched the earth, Almirant Joseph McGregor stood resolute, his presence a bastion of control amid the maelstrom of human emotion. The attack had left a wound deeper than any physical scar. It echoed through the hearts of every man, woman, and child with a poignant fury that demanded retribution. The command center was a theater of muted chaos, each officer and operator a player in the symphony of Earth's righteous wrath. McGregor, the conductor, moved with deliberate purpose, his voice a commandment that cut through grief and galvanized resolve. "Prepare for counteroffensive operations," he ordered, his tone imbued with a quiet intensity that resonated with every person in the room. A silence fell over the room, not of hesitation, but of steely focus. To retaliate was not merely an act of vengeance, but a declaration of humanity's unwillingness to be victimized, their resolve tempered by the loss of innocent lives, particularly the children whose futures had been stolen in an instant. Earth's fleet, mobilized with precision and urgency, shimmered against the backdrop of the celestial void. These ships, heralds of humanity's technological acumen, bore the weight of their mission with solemn grace. They streaked through the heavens towards the enemy, their trajectories calculated with ruthless accuracy. As the vessels approached their targets, strategically critical military installations of the aggressor species, McGregor's gaze remained fixed on the tactical display. His mind, a crucible of strategy and emotion, balanced the scales of justice and mercy, aware that this retaliation was not about annihilation, but a lesson in consequence. "Engage targets," he commanded, his voice carrying the weight of a judge pronouncing a sentence. Each ship unleashed its payload with a precision that was both beautiful and terrifying, a synchrony of force that reverberated across the battlefield. Explosions blossomed in the void like ephemeral flowers, their brilliance visible even from the distant vantage of Earth's orbit. Each detonation marked the erasure of an enemy stronghold, a surgical excision of the threat that had dared to strike at the heart of humanity. McGregor watched in silence, his expression inscrutable, even as he felt the weight of each decision settle upon his shoulders. This was the response of a species long accustomed to the harsh dialect of survival, now spoken with a fluency that left no room for misinterpretation. "Weapon systems report all targets have been neutralized," Lieutenant Callahan confirmed, her voice steady despite the gravity of their actions. "Enemy retaliatory capabilities are compromised." In that moment, McGregor knew the message had been sent, one carved not through words, but through deeds. Earth had shown its teeth, not in reckless aggression, but as a protective guardian, capable of great fury when provoked. "Stand down from combat readiness," McGregor announced, his command a balm to the tense air. "Monitor for any further hostilities, but prepare to return to standby operations." The room exhaled collectively, a release of tension that had coiled within its confines. McGregor turned his attention to the screens displaying the aftermath of their response, burning pyres in the void, remnants of an enemy's hubris. Yet amidst the tactical victory, he felt the pull of introspection. The retaliation, though justified, was a reminder of the fine line they walked between protector and conqueror. The galaxy watched, eyes turned towards this death-world species that had revealed both its might and its humanity. He knew this conflict would echo within the halls of the Galactic Council, a testament to the dual nature of Earth's children, capable of unparalleled compassion and unyielding resolve. It was a narrative that would shape their future among the stars, a story not of simplistic might, but of a species defined by its gravitas and grace. Turning away from the screens, McGregor looked towards Earth, its beauty unmarred by the conflict that had raged beyond its atmosphere. Here was a world that understood both the fragility of life and the strength needed to protect it, a duality that would guide them into the cosmic future. As the fleet returned home, their mission fulfilled, McGregor knew the next battles would be fought not with ships and weapons, but with words and diplomacy. The Galactic Council awaited, and with it the opportunity to redefine humanity's place among the stars. For now, the fires of righteous fury had dimmed, leaving in their wake a clarity sharpened by resolve. Earth had retaliated, a measured response that would be remembered not just for its might, but for the precision of its purpose, a testament to the extraordinary spectrum of human nature. The Galactic Council chamber was a vast amphitheater of shimmering light and hushed expectation, suspended in the tranquility of space. Delegates from countless star systems filled the seats, their faces a kaleidoscope of colors and forms, each representing civilizations with histories as deep and diverse as the cosmos itself. At the chamber's heart, Dr. Martin Norris stood, a solitary figure on the dais. Clad in the formal attire of Earth's diplomatic corps, he seemed small against the grandeur of the assembly. Yet the gravity of his presence was undeniable. The journey to this moment had been arduous, marked by conflict and revelation, and now the eyes of the galaxy were upon him. Honored members of the council, Norris began, his voice steady, though his heart thrummed with the weight of his responsibility. I stand before you not merely as a representative of Earth, but as a testament to a species forged in the crucible of adversity. A murmur rippled through the hall, the delegates shifting in their seats, each processing the events that had unfolded. Humanity had shown its strength in the past days, a strength that had startled and impressed, yet also unsettled many among them. Norris paused, allowing the significance of his words to settle. He surveyed the diverse assembly, noting the mix of skepticism and curiosity etched across alien visages. The council had gathered to judge humanity, to decide if the actions of Earth were those of a noble defender or a nascent threat. We are a people of paradox, he continued, his gaze unwavering as he addressed the assembly. Our world, harsh and unforgiving, has taught us resilience unlike any you have known. Yet it is this very environment that has also imbued us with profound empathy and an unyielding desire for peace. As he spoke, images from Earth flashed above him, projected for all to see. Lush forests teeming with life, oceans that stretched to the horizon, cities that gleamed with innovation and cultural tapestry. These were the facets of humanity often hidden behind the shadow of their military might. Our actions, recent and historical, reflect the duality of our nature, Norris stated, his voice imbued with a quiet force. The retaliation against those who attacked our home was not an act of conquest. It was a defense, a declaration that we will not stand idly by when the innocent are threatened. The chamber was silent, the weight of his words settling like dust on ancient stone. Dr. Norris knew the path ahead was fraught with the complexities of galactic politics, where intentions could be as fluid as stardust, and alliances as fragile as ice. We seek not to dominate, but to coexist, he implored, his eyes reaching across the assembly. To share our journey, our lessons, and our dreams with the wider galaxy. Our past has been shaped by conflict, yes, but also by an indomitable spirit of cooperation and understanding. The council, composed of beings whose lifespan spanned from the ephemeral to the eternal, listened intently. For some, Earth's actions were a stark reminder of long-standing fears, a young, unpredictable species with power disproportionate to its experience. For others, it was a beacon of potential, a chance to forge new alliances, and learn from a civilization that had weathered the storm of their death world to emerge stronger. Norris continued, drawing upon the depths of his conviction. As members of this galactic community, we offer our knowledge and compassion, tempered by the lessons survival on Earth has bestowed upon us. Let us move forward together, not as rivals, but as partners bound by the shared destiny of the stars. A delegate, an avian creature with feathers that shimmered like the dawn, rose to speak. Their voice, melodious and wise, cut through the air. Dr. Norris, the Council recognizes both the promise and peril humanity presents. How do you envision Earth's role in maintaining balance within the galactic order? Norris inclined his head in acknowledgement, his mind racing, yet his demeanor calm. We envision Earth as a bridge between worlds, a mediator and innovator. Our history has forced us to adapt rapidly, to solve complex problems under pressure. These skills, I believe, are crucial to traversing the challenges we all face. He paused, drawing breath as he sensed the tide of opinion shifting, ever so slightly, in his favor. We are prepared to contribute, to share our technological advancements, and to learn from the wisdom of those who have walked this path before us. Through understanding and collaboration, we can transform potential conflict into lasting peace. As his words lingered in the chamber, the delegates conferred among themselves, their voices a susurrus of debate and contemplation. The tension was palpable, yet there was also a burgeoning hope, a recognition of the potential that lay within this young species from a distant world. In the moments that followed, the council's decision hung in the balance, the outcome uncertain, yet within reach. Dr. Norris stood rooted, embodying the resilience and aspirations of all humanity, poised at the precipice of history. Through a convergence of diplomacy and destiny, the stage was set for an unprecedented chapter in galactic history, one where Earth's place among the stars would be determined not by might alone, but by the breadth of its vision and the depth of its humanity. The decision passed through the Galactic Council like a serene wave, the echoes of the vote lingering in the chamber's vaulted expanse. An audible collective sigh marked the culmination of a path fraught with peril and promise. From the depths of the council's assembly, a delicate figure spoke, their voice solemn, yet underscored by an unmistakable warmth. Earth shall henceforth be welcomed into our galactic community, recognized for its resilience and the unique contributions it offers to the stars. Dr. Martin Norris exhaled, the weight of potential outcomes dissolving into a moment of quiet triumph. The Council's decision was a beacon, not only for Earth, but for the countless civilizations observing from afar. As the chamber erupted into a cacophony of conversation and congratulation, Norris stood momentarily rooted, a silent observer to the historic moment unfolding around him. He glanced over to where Almirant Joseph McGregor stood, the stoic figure momentarily softened by a rare smile. McGregor gave a nod, a simple gesture that conveyed both relief and acknowledgement of the shared journey. There exchanged a glance that spoke volumes, an unspoken understanding of the trials faced and the battles won, not just in the void of space, but within the hearts of people. The news traveled with the swiftness of light, reaching Earth's farthest corners and igniting celebrations that blazed with the intensity of new suns. Across the globe, humanity embraced the decision, its citizens united in a moment of profound significance. On the streets, in homes, and amidst the structures that defined human progress, joy intertwined with a sense of existential achievement. Back at the council station, Norris found a moment's respite amidst the thrumming activity. He retreated to an observation deck, where the vastness of the cosmos stretched out before him, an endless tapestry of potential and mystery. Stars winked from the dark, their light distant yet intimate, a reminder of the vast interconnectedness of all things. McGregor joined him, his footsteps silent on the metallic floor. They stood side by side, each lost in their thoughts, yet bound by shared history. Quite the day, Norris remarked, his voice reflective, the press of responsibility now tempered by a sense of accomplishment. Indeed, McGregor replied, his gaze fixed on the starfield. We've entered a new era, one where our actions are as infinite as the possibilities. Norris nodded, absorbing the truth in McGregor's words. Humanity had stepped onto a broader stage, their actions and aspirations now interwoven with those of countless other species. We've shown them we're more than just a reactive force, that we can adapt, innovate, and thrive. McGregor's expression remained thoughtful, tempered by the wisdom of experience. Survival's taught us many lessons. Now it's about how we use those lessons moving forward. Responsibility doesn't end with recognition. As they spoke, the enormity of their undertaking settled upon them. Earth's place among the stars was as much about potential as it was about obligation. The galaxy was a landscape of alliances and challenges, each demanding its own form of engagement. We'll need to lead by example, Norris continued, his tone resolute. Show that our strength isn't just in our ability to defend, but in our capacity to connect and uplift. A moment of silence ensued, filled with the ambient hum of the station and the quiet pulse of the universe beyond. In that pause lay the kernel of understanding, an acknowledgement that being a part of this cosmic community was as much about humility as it was about ambition. McGregor's gaze turned inward, reflecting on the path that had brought them to this precipice. Earth's always been a crucible, a place where you learn to fight and to forgive. It's that lesson we carry forward. To be fierce in protection, yet generous in spirit. Together they turned back to the observation window. The silent symphony of stars, offering a canvas for dreams yet to be realized. The path ahead was uncharted, a journey into the unknown, shared with allies and adversaries alike. Yet they felt bolstered by the unity that had carried them this far, the collective drive of humanity to reach beyond their grasp and touch the stars. Through their shared moment, both men sensed a future of collaboration and discovery, an era defined not by division, but by an expansive embrace of all that the galaxy had to offer. The skies beckoned with their vast promises and veiled secrets, inviting Earth to take its rightful place amid the stellar tapestry. In the wake of their success, Norris and McGregor knew that Earth's story among the stars was just beginning, a narrative that would be written with the ink of understanding and the quill of perseverance. As they turned to leave the observation deck, their hearts were filled with the knowledge that no matter the challenges ahead, humanity's light would shine brightly, a beacon amongst the stars.